1. I work in a staff canteen, like a school canteen but in a busy workplace. I started off as a barista and worked my way up to chef. One day it was a busy lunch rush. The managers were in a meeting and half the staff were off sick or on holiday, so we were pretty understaffed. My colleague was running the till and I was making coffee at lightning speed. I know all of our regulars' coffee orders and when they come in for them, so I get making the coffee when I see them so it's ready by the time they get to the till with their lunch. While making a large Americano, I gripped the cup too hard and boiling water got everywhere, mostly over my hand. I swore in Latin. A lot of our customers speak a variety of languages, so I swear in Latin so they don't report my potty mouth to my boss. My colleagues saw what happened, and I shoved the burning hand under the sink for cold water. Asked the passing KP to get a mop, and wet floor sign. Asked my colleague to cover making coffee. I can work the till with one hand. Normally I'll go in the back and deal with an injury, but I'm not leaving my colleague alone to deal with the lunch rush. And there's Karen. Karen is well known for her petty complaints and obnoxious behavior. She starts moaning rather loudly to her friend about this slow service. Service is still pretty fast considering I have one hand to work with. I ignore her. She keeps going, getting louder and louder, and by the time she gets to the till, she says to my face, "Can you hurry up, please? I don't have a lot of time." "I'm sorry, we're really short-staffed today and I'm currently..." "Well, that's not my problem. It's not good enough. I don't get very long for lunch." She continues ranting when I stop her mid-sentence. "Hey, lady," holding up my burnt hand, "we are short-staffed. I have a serious problem." Gesture to the burn that is now swollen like a melon. Blisters and broken skin. "I'm trying to deal with this, as well as dealing with the lunch rush." She stops dead in her tracks right as my manager walks in. She sees my hand and rushes me to the back while calling for the on-site medic. I explained the situation and why I stayed out front working. I was scolded, even though the hand was enough for one day, for not putting my health first, but they left it at that. I mentioned the boiler for tea and coffee was set too high, so they called out an engineer to have it serviced and reset to a cooler setting to avoid bad burns in the future. I was sent to the hospital and got a couple days off work. I was scheduled a couple days off anyway, so it worked out well. I come back, and I still have a dressing on my hand. All my co-workers are really concerned for me, and so are regular customers. A few even reported Karen for being so rude to me while I was doing my best. She came in and saw my hand, but tried to pretend nothing happened. My hand healed up pretty quickly, and the scar soon faded. My doctor praised me for getting it under cold water so quickly and coming in. They asked if I wanted evidence for a lawsuit, but I didn't bother. Not worth the hassle, and it was partly my fault. 2. We're doing the whole QR code menus, and mostly everyone has been okay with it. There have been a few people who have requested a paper one, and we have some in the office if need be. While it's Sunday morning brunch and it's packed, our hosts make sure to let everyone know about the QR code before seating. It's on every door and wall of our restaurant, and there's a copy of it on the table as well. I'm refilling waters and coffees while the host seats a two-top for me. They look mid-30s, and we're wearing masks, which we require unless you're actively eating your meal. I'm glad my restaurant is taking things as seriously as they can. I give them a couple minutes before greeting them with the waters. Characters are SM, Stupid Man, SW, Stupid Woman, and me. "Hi, my name is Me, I'll be your server today. Can I get you to anything to drink other than the water?"
How am I supposed to know what I want to drink if I don't have a menu to order from?
"Oh, at the moment we're doing paperless menus. Here's a QR code you can scan that will show you what we have." SM huffs as he puts his phone face down on the table and stares at me for about 10 seconds before simply saying,
"Why?"
"We have a limited menu due to a short supply of some items, and we update it digitally so we don't need to print off new menus each day. It's also so we don't have to throw away a lot of paper after each customer." SM rolls his eyes at me. SW has her head down this whole time.
"I can't see your menu, and the QR code isn't scanning. Is the menu on your website?"
I can see her looking at the menu on her phone. I put together that maybe this couple just wants to be difficult to get some free food, or something along those lines. Yes, it is. The URL is... I'm standing there for maybe 10 more seconds while I see SW looking at the drink menu, and SM still will not look at his phone.
Get me a paper menu now or we won't be eating here. I won't support a business that makes it difficult for people to even order food.
I'm done with this guy's attitude already, and SW blatantly lying to me while I can see over her shoulder, but being in customer service, I simply reply, "Let me go get one for you." I get maybe 5 steps toward the office for the menu when I hear 2 chairs loudly screech behind me. SM and SW stand up. SM loudly announces to the restaurant,
I'm not going to support a business that can't support normal life, and I suggest you all reconsider coming here again.
He pushes over his and SW's water cups, and they walk out of the restaurant while everyone just stares blankly in awkward silence. All of my other tables chatted with me over what a jackass that guy was, tipped me well, and everything went back to normal, after I spent 20 seconds cleaning up after that very noble and brave man. 3. Had a very cute young couple who have been regulars here for like 5 years come in tonight to propose. He came in last week and arranged with management to reserve their favorite table. We usually don't do reservations for parties of 2, and to bring his own dessert and champagne in advance. All good, we were happy to make the night special for them. Even those of us with no role in the scheme, like me, are watching because there's not usually that much excitement here. So dude gets here for the big night, and he's nervous, sweating, hyperventilating. Even his girlfriend kept asking, "Everything okay, babe? Does your forehead feel warm? You sure we shouldn't go home?" So the plan had been to bring out surprise complimentary tasting glasses of wine, and the ring would be in her glass. The guy excuses himself to go to the bathroom, comes and puts the ring in the glass, and man is he losing it. He's jabbering to all of us in the back, "Maybe this isn't the right time. It's kind of loud. What if she doesn't hear me? We were just arguing yesterday. What if she says no? She can't say no. Maybe I should wait. I don't know. Maybe do it with dessert instead? She won't say no, right? She has to say yes." On and on. So he composed himself, he sits down, the waiter comes over with the glasses, someone else, this was not my section. When the waiter is 3/4 of the way over, the dude bolts. He runs to the bathroom and he's absolutely in a panic. 2 bussers and the bar back are trying to give him a man-to-man psych-up speech. But then I see it. She's about to drink the champagne, and he isn't there. I run over and just improvise because this wasn't even my table. I'm like, "Oh, hey, hi, we were actually having a problem with your order. Could you just go over it for me again?" What I didn't think of is this doesn't get her up from the table. She's going to take a sip, and I scream, "Oh my gosh, a hornet! Duck!" I wish I could say this was my quick thinking at work, but I only thought of it because we'd actually had a hornet earlier in the day. The woman leaps up, and I accidentally panic all the nearby customers, including one who's apparently allergic to hornets. As this is going on, I'm flailing my hands behind my back like a mental patient trying to get the guy's attention, searching for a way to keep her from sitting, because she'll realize sooner than later there's no hornet. I'm about to have to tell her we're moving her table to buy this guy some time, but I guess whatever the bussers and barbacks said to him took because he reappeared. I was so relieved and was just like, "Oh, my mistake, no hornet. I think the light just hit my eye weird in the shadow. Yeah, okay. Enjoy your meal." And the guy just tries to soldier through with his original plan and just talks over his now frantic girlfriend trying to tell him about the hornet. And there was some problem with their food, and he's like, "I don't care. As long as we're together. Let's toast." And she discovers the ring, and she screams louder than when she thought there was a hornet, and she said yes. And it all worked out. Definitely the most interesting shift I've had in a while. Here's to the happy couple. 4. Every once in a while I remember this story of a grandma, a mother, and 2 baby boys, assuming all of the relations, but that's how I'll refer to them. From many moons ago, when I was the ripe young age of 18. I'm 20 now. This was around the year mark of when I started at my diner. I think when I was still a busser. I believe this was a decently busy Saturday breakfast. Our story starts with me in the bathroom washing my hands, and about to get back to all those dirty tables that probably manifested during my bathroom break. A young woman pokes her head in the door and tosses something in the trash. I don't pay much attention to what it was, but I thought to myself, that better not have been a fucking diaper. As I go to leave the bathroom, I decide to look out the little window in the door that divides the bathroom entrances from the rest of the diner. I never do this, but thank God I decided to this time, because I see a 2-year-old boy standing there and hitting the door. I gently nudge the door and gently ask him to be careful. If I hadn't noticed him, I would have burst through the door and punted the little man into next Tuesday. I would have felt awful. The little boy's mom and grandma weren't even looking at him. They both had resting bitch face to the max. I don't think I ever saw an expression on either of their faces. Not one smile the whole time they were there. Back to the little boy. He toddles towards the bathrooms as I'm holding the door open. He was going towards the men's bathroom, at least. I'm standing there, not really comprehending what to do, or if I have the authority to grab him and return him to his table. An older customer who's about to go to the bathroom says, "That's not right." And a co-worker of mine, a much more experienced older server, takes his little hand and steers him away from the bathroom. Without saying a word, the mom gets up, picks him up, and sits him on the booth next to her. Oh, so she is capable of watching her son. Awesome. Maybe he should have been in a booster seat, like his younger brother, whose diaper had been definitely thrown out in the bathroom. Don't tell me she changed him on... I go to the dining room and clear plates like a madwoman. The whole time I documented in my head what just occurred, planning on telling all this to my boyfriend later because we both like to share what we called "watch your fucking kids please" stories from our jobs. It helped that I kept being reminded of their presence due to the baby screaming and crying his full head off. I swear to God this kid was yelling and crying during their entire stay. As I make my way back to the bathrooms, I see our story isn't quite over yet. Mom and Grandma still hadn't changed their expressions, but I saw Mom was changing her 2-year-old's diaper on the seat of the booth. Excuse me, lady? I'm not giving her a pass for not checking or caring to check the bathrooms before changing the first kid, but at least after throwing out the first diaper, she had to have noticed that there was a freaking changing table in the bathroom. I really can't think of many public bathrooms that don't at this point. Like, how do you think that's an okay thing to do? Maybe the staff and the other paying, eating customers don't want to see and smell your kid's shit and piss. And for the sake of your child, are you seriously that trusting of a booth seat to bare-ass change your kid on it like that? My diner has wonderful standards of cleanliness, mind you, but I know that because I work there. And at this time of the story, I was in charge of cleaning it myself, so I knew it was spotless. Well, before the diaper change. But I suppose Mama either didn't care or she just trusted our cleanliness standards. Because in case it wasn't abundantly clear, she didn't even at least put a changing mat down first. Just had her boy lay down, pull down his pants and changed his diaper. When the family finally departed, I wasted little to no time grabbing our handy back-off spray, powerful disinfectant that we use on every surface really in COVID times to keep things sanitized, and liberally spraying around the entire booth. If they noticed, which I hope they did, I doubt they cared. Please guys, when you go out to eat, watch your kids. And have some common fucking sense when you finally decide to care for them. Five. So the restaurant I work at is a small chain burger joint knockoff of Red Robin, but slightly better. Getting worse. Since quarantine has been lifted, our GM has found another job, and the new GM and staff in general have been sliding downhill fast. I've been overall fed up with this place for about a month. As a bit of background for future details, our tip out for bar and host is 3% of sales. Friday evening, I had a table on our patio that started as 2 but turned into 5. They ordered ridiculously over-the-top burgers. 2 of them had a total of 20 ounces of beef alone, plus bacon and other toppings, and would order their drinks one by one. One person would order a drink, then, after it was made by the bartender and I dropped it off, another person would order one more drink. Every time I asked the entire table if anybody wanted another drink, they all said no. This was taking a distinct amount of time away from my other tables, ferrying one drink back and forth at a time. After about an hour at the table, and one of the customers staring at her 20-ounce burger for over 30 minutes without taking a single bite, they were ready for the $165.59 bill. To wit, I was handed a wad of cash by one guy at the table, who proudly proclaimed, "I'll take the bill." After saying thank you and going back inside to count the total of $166 cash, I promptly went back outside to drop off the 40 cents worth of change. As they were all standing up, the same guy then handed me $3 and says, "That's for you," and started to walk away. To which I said, "You realize I can't even pay the bartender to make all the drinks you ordered with this?" Turned around and walked inside. Here's where it gets fun. Dude follows me inside and starts yelling. Whole restaurant watching. We currently have 11 tables, most of which are 4 or 6 tops, but usually run capacity of around 120 customers. Saying, "You disrespecting me?" I said back to him, "You didn't tip enough to pay the bartender to make your drinks." One of the managers, a racist asshole who picks blatant favorites, steps in and tells me to go out back and, from second-hand accounts, talks to the guy who apparently complained that he just lost his job and was sorry he couldn't afford more. And why the hell did you buy $165 worth of food and drinks for 5 people? And watch a girl not even touch a $25 burger? Felt amazing to call a piece of shit customer on a baffling tip. Yeah, I lost my job, but I knew I would. And I've been fed up with that restaurant for a month now, and how better to go out than with a big show. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Spinning Plates number 107. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. And what the hell goes in a $25 burger? Some people in chat speculated gold and truffles, which kind of annoys me. It's a pet peeve of mine when it comes to cooking. Don't put things in food that don't add to the meal. The only thing gold does is add cost. Well, it adds cost and it makes me angry. Gold is useful for many things. You shouldn't be eating it. And there's probably a lot of crap we shouldn't be eating, but definitely not gold. I always do find I get kind of hungry when recording these stories. Well, it's the weekend. I usually like to make something... sorry about the noise in the background. Neighbours being rude again. And it's... Well, it's a weekend. I usually like to make something nice. So I remember. I'd usually... if I'm making like an Indian kind of curry, I'd usually go for a korma. But I decided to have a bit of a change this time, so I've got a couple of jars of tikka sauce. And I've got the chicken and the mushrooms and onions and everything already there. So yeah, I might have chicken tikka tonight. Pretty sure I've got naan bread somewhere as well. Yeah, I think I'll do that. If I have time when I'm done streaming, that is. Alright, when is this? This is Saturday. Well, it's not Saturday, it's Monday. Well, it's actually Tuesday, but we won't grumble. Quibble. This goes up on Saturday. And so I will likely be doing a gaming stream tonight. I know they're not as popular, but I like to have a stream where I'm not consumed with work. And I can just chill out and I can watch the chat and, I can take questions and, interact with you guys. So we'll have one of those this Saturday. Hopefully I'll have successful tales that the upgrades to these bloody windows that they are properly installed in 2018 are satisfactory and that they weren't too long in my house. Okay. And with those little grumbles, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.